All right, the federal government shutdown right now. Well, I'll tell you what, the town and the counties that give sanctuary cities and sanctuary and that take a percentage of the residents' holdings, their homes and stuff to taxation to service the needs of globalization. The only thing that makes us weak as United States resident citizens are the property taxes that the cities and the towns and the states and all the whatever taxes on your property come over every year. That makes us vulnerable, just like they manipulated all the large land bearings over the last century to break up all the farms with the interstate system bill that they did. It's not. It's done. Now we need to secure our personal assets and ban property taxes. And YouTube, you got a little bit longer to go than TikTok here did. And we're going to have to do, and I got to spell it out for you guys right quick. One, safe trade, transit, insurance, commerce, sales tax, appropriation, accountability, infrastructure, prepaid, dividend bearing system that will shift all the property taxes to a sales tax. It will facilitate all income taxes, and it will be on a debit card, and you will have incentives. The more you spend and the more taxes you pay in, you will get dividends like Club Med. Maybe you get to go to Disney World after you spend so much uh, regularly or whatever, every couple years. 1 year, that's a pretty quick turnover, that's a quick turnover. And we're having to go out here and get $1.60 a day to facilitate all the utilities such as fire departments, sheriff's department, first responders, all these amenities that that immigrants use, and we need them to come here, but we need everybody to pay equally. So if we do it on the commodities sold in the commercial venues of the community, then we'll get an equal distribution among all the occupants of the jurisdiction. And if we shift it and ban property tax, don't allow any counties or towns to vote themselves or cities to vote themselves a salary out of the value of the property that they appraise. It's a vicious cycle that they keep taking more money every year and giving the employees more salary, and it's not right because the minimum wage in that community is like 4 times below poverty. It's definitely 4 times it's 3 times less than what county employees make. So, if you're working full time for $15,000 a year, but the teachers say they need a livable wage, which is $55,000 a year, you do the math. And if they've done their job, you should be able to do the math and as a citizen of this country and realize that that's way out of proportion because if a teacher needs that kind of money with the stable income that she has, what about seasonal workers and stuff that have minimal in time and period throughout the year? They have a lot more downtime. But anyhow, we just got to get rid of property taxes, and we need to come together with our debit card tax system and buy up intellectual technology and facilitate any insurance companies necessary through the same mechanism that regulates the the insurances and stuff, and that's the legislators ought to have a trust that facilitates the insurance needs, and whenever that insurance needs not, it should bounce back to the participant in dividends and rewards. It's not that hard to set up the pyramid scheme that is not just for the one at the top. It's for all 3 corners. Everybody gets a dividend. It needs to be a your tax participation needs to be a commodity. Now, I know there's a lot of words and blah, 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 but there is logic to what I've said. We need to secure the residents' personal possessions from the changing flux of the global market. Because if we're going to have more travel and stuff and everything, we cannot expect modest people who just want to farm the land and live humbly at their home. Have a little garden. It don't take more than a quarter acre. If you got a quarter acre, you got to be able to grow something, unless you're in the shadow of something. But we'll have incentives for the rich people to spend, and they get to keep all their equity. You get to keep your land, what you've already paid for. Once you pay for it, you get to keep it. We got to stop eradicating the resources and having eminent domain push through and neglect the natural resources that were there and force and form and just they're hitting the mark on a lot of things. Some things might even have to be tore down and started over because they were not properly thought out and the consequences are real. Other things need to be incentivized, like we need to buy up patent laws so we with our co-op, as we start becoming with our debit card, we're paying for like 7 or 8 cents or tiers of utilities, exploration, health and well-being. I mean, it needs to be done. Royalties, we need to reinvigorate royalties. Why patent laws? Well, we can't allow people to put a product on the shelf. Yeah, I mean, you can get a royalty, but you shouldn't be able to take it out of the history books because you bought the patent on it and keep us from being able to teach children about it on the public school level. Because all this technology taken away and hiding that the children develop and you just mimic it and patent it. I mean, the school systems are set up for pirates to go in there and cipher the innovative ideas of science fairs and all that things. Seen it done. Or what are you saying? People can't have the mark. So somebody come up with an idea in high school, and then 5 years later they're implementing it in an oil recovery system for Exxon, and she doesn't get no copyrights. That seems kind of stupid. Seems kind of wrong to allow children to do their science fair and submit it, and then it just get jacked. You know. Well, I'd know if they were millionaires. you know. I would know if they prospered from their innovation. No, they did not, but they had it first. Anyhow, don't get set up for failure, and that's my tax system. I'm going to leave it there.